Hi everybody, welcome to Mike's Garage. Hope everybody's staying warm out there. It's been pretty cold here last few weeks. Listen, I wanted to go over a little carpentry trick that I had learned a long time ago. When you're doing finish trim or you're trying to put a nail through a piece of wood down towards the end, it'll split the end of the wood unless you do it the right way. Here's a couple of things you can try to do. If you're doing a finish nail, let me start the video. If you're doing a finish nail and you're going to put it near the end of the wood, it will split, especially if it's an older piece of trim or you're trying to reuse the trim. Sometimes you have to pre-drill a hole, or you can get away with just taking the nail before you drive it in, and you want to take the point off the end of the nail. You want to hammer it flat. Now, it has to be flat because you hammer it, and if it's on an angle, the nail will go in crooked, the way the flat spot is tapered in the wrong direction. So make sure it's flat. Now, when you do it, it's a little harder to drive it through because it doesn't have a point on it, but it won't split the end of the wood. So that's a little trick you can use. It works on the small finish nails, and you can get it through the trim, and you won't have that headache of you split the end of the trim that you were trying to use or reuse, okay? You can also do it with a bigger nail. This is a 16 penny nail. We're putting it in a small piece of trim, and it splits the wood. It's no good. It'll split right apart. If you pull on it, it'll split right in half, and there you go. So it's no good. Same trick. You get the bigger nail, you put the head down, and you take your hammer and you make a flat spot on the end. You take the point off. Now what that'll do is it'll push its way through the wood and crush the fibers of the wood rather than split the wood, and it makes it easier to get the nail through without splitting it. It is a little harder to drive the nail through. A lot of times here you'll see on the end of the video there's a little piece of wood on the flat spot where it crushed its way through to get through the wood. And you can hammer it all the way through. You shouldn't have a problem with it splitting. You can also pre-drill the hole, and that'll prevent it from splitting also. So that's one of the tricks. See if you can catch a quick glimpse of this at the end. There's wood on the end, and you won't have this problem with splitting a good piece of wood like that. So I hope that's a helpful tip. Now that's not plywood. That's a regular piece of pine or hemlock. Okay, it's a regular trim wood. Okay, so remember that trick. It works every time. I haven't had a problem with it. The other thing is with screws. You can do the same thing with a screw. Now this is a piece of oak. If you want to use a screw on a lighter piece of wood that isn't as dense and it keeps splitting the wood, you can cut the tip off the end of the screw. You can turn the screw over and hammer the point off of it, okay? They are very difficult to put in a hard piece of wood. You can put some soap on it. You can put some Vaseline on it, anything to help add moisture to it, and the screw should go through the wood without splitting it. And especially if you take the point off at the end, shouldn't be a problem. I hope they were helpful tips. Thanks for watching Mike's Garage, and we'll see everybody next time. Stay warm out there. Bye.